All right, welcome back. So we're still talking about binary search trees, but we're not going to implement any new methods. What we're going to do right now is review the two methods we've already added, and in particular, focus on their performance, their time complexity. So as a binary search tree grows, whether it's, let's say it starts at 10 nodes and it goes up to 1,000,000 nodes, how much more time on average, but we'll also talk about best and worst cases, how much more time does it take to insert a value or to search? I've actually given it away already. This is best and average case, O of log n. And I'm going to explain why that is in just a moment. But if you don't remember what log is, what logarithms are, if you didn't watch if you don't remember from math class, totally understandable. It's not that useful in everyday life. But if you didn't watch the video in the beginning of this course, in the big O section, you might want to go check that out. It explains in some more detail basically what this means. And just as a refresher, this actually means log base 2 of n, which is really, it's so lazy the way that big O works. We just simplify. We get rid of the base 2 and we just say log n. Okay, so let's talk about how we arrived here. The first thing to get out of the way is that log n is good. That is a solid time complexity. That's it. If we look at the chart, which we will in a moment, you'll see that it grows pretty slowly. All right, so here we have two trees. Two binary search trees. I just want to reiterate what I'm talking about in this video is only for binary search trees. They have to be sorted because they give us this nice shortcut. So here's this first tree. It's 7 nodes, something like that. As we look for a value, let's say that we're searching or inserting. It doesn't matter because we're basically doing the same thing. We're finding the correct spot for it. So let's say I'm trying to insert 59 into this top tree. Well, we're going to have to start here. And we're going to have to make a comparison, go here, another comparison, go here, another comparison, and then insert the value. Now, if we double the size of the tree, so this has double the nodes as the one above, it only has one more level down, one more step. Its height grows by 1. So in this tree, even though it has double the nodes as the one from above, we only have to look one more time. We have to only take one more step. So if I was trying to insert 61 this time, I just have to go 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps. This one that has half the nodes was 3 steps. So this relationship here, because the way we keep it sorted, and again, that only works in a search tree, a binary search tree, as the tree doubles, as the number of nodes doubles, we only increase the number of steps by 1. So that relationship is log base 2. So here's the actual chart from Wikipedia of log 2 of x. If you look at it, just the positive side. As we double a value from 1 to 2, we only take 1 step up. As we double it again to 4, 2 steps up. As we double it again to 8, 3 steps up. If we go back to this big O complexity chart where we just see all of the different notations charted next to one another, you can see that log n is really solid. It grows very, very slowly compared to something like, n squared, quadratic time. I mean, that's not good. Or n log n, or even linear time. The only thing that's better on this chart, at least, is constant time. So log n is good. It takes a while, it takes a long time for it to start to grow. And this is the same for insertion and for searching. Just to reiterate that, they're the same idea because the way that the tree is set up, we follow the same steps. We compare, do we go right or left? Compare, do we go right or left? And whether we find the value or we insert, it's the same sort of number of steps. Okay, so now let's talk about why I said not guaranteed. So O of log n is the time complexity for the average case of a tree, but also for the best case. There's no faster possible way. But when we talk about worst case, it's not guaranteed. And that's because there are some binary search tree configurations that are very slow, at least compared to the ones we've been looking at. For example, this very sad, floppy, mopey binary search tree. This tree, which really just looks like a linked list or something, it's entirely one-sided, but it's still a valid binary search tree because if we take a value, every node to the right is greater than its parent. And we keep going, it's valid the entire way. So if we're talking about inserting into this tree, if we have a tree like this, let's say how many items is this? 8 or something? If we had it grow to 1,000,000 items and it was still a one-sided tree, which is not a good use for a binary search tree. But if that's what you had, and it kept growing and growing and growing, then the number of steps it's going to take to insert or to search is going to grow as the number of nodes grow. So that would be O of n if you had a completely one-sided tree like this. Now there's a really easy solution to this, which is just don't store a binary tree or binary search tree like this. If you needed this as a tree and you wanted it to be sortable, you could rewrite this binary search tree where you pick a different root. Pick, 34 as the root, and then restructure the entire tree and have these values to the right, these values to the left. That would make your searching and insertion much faster already. So I just want to point out, though, this is a valid BST. So this is why I said not guaranteed to be O of log n. But on average, insertion and searching in a binary search tree are O of log n for time complexity. And that is pretty good, pretty good. All right, moving on.